One night every year, the island of Bali does something almost impossible. 4 million people go quiet, fade one by one until the island is wrapped in darkness. And on one of those nights, a visitor decided the rules didn't apply to them. That was the night the silence looked back. This is the Day of Silence, and this story is about what happened when one person tried to stay loud.
Welcome back to Stories from the Edge. I'm Tara. This is the show where ordinary people share the moments that made them question what they thought they understood about the world.
And sometimes, those moments happen in places that look like a travel ad, but feel like something else entirely.
Tonight's story takes us to Bali, Indonesia. A year, for 24 hours, the island almost disappears from the world. No travel, no work, no lights. In the morning until 6 the next morning, everything stops.
Even the airport?
The runway goes dark, shops lock up, beach clubs kill the music, the streets empty out. The day is called the Day of Silence. It's the Balinese New Year, and it's taken seriously. You stay inside, you keep the lights low. You don't treat the island like a backdrop. Most visitors accept that. Our storyteller, let's call them the influencer, did not come to Bali hoping to disappear for a day. They came for content.
Spent days chasing sunsets and pool shots, curating paradise. When hotel staff mentioned they heard it as a quirky selling point.
The night Bali turned off.
The hotel to set expectations, handed out info sheets, explained that local security patrols the streets, everyone to close curtains and keep lights from leaking outside. No balcony parties, no blasting music, just one day of stillness.
Influencer nodded politely, phone in hand, half listening. They were already planning a time lapse.
Their plan sounded respectful enough to them. They'd stay in their room like everyone else, but keep one small light on. Maybe a tiny ring light, turned way down, just enough to film.
Technically breaking the rules, but definitely poking at the edges.
Staff kept hinting that wasn't the time to poke. One receptionist circled the line on the paperwork and said, "No bright rooms. The island needs to look empty." Another added, "To keep it dark. Better for you."
In the room, took over the bed, tripod, a small ring light. The balcony doors, late afternoon light faded over the road. The influencer rehearsed a whispery intro down to the moment the island went quiet.
By sunset, Bali felt like it was holding its breath. Scooters made their last runs. Metal shutters rattled down. Somewhere, a bar killed the music mid-beat.
Influencer turned off the overhead lights, left the TV dark, and pulled curtains almost closed. They wanted a view for the lens. The only glow in the room came from their phone and the ring light pushed far back from the balcony.
So from the street, it just looked like a faint leak of light in a sea of black.
That was the idea. They hit record.
They later sent us, you can hear the excitement in their whisper. I think I might be the only light on this whole street right now. It's half brag, half thrill.
For a while, nothing happened. They adjusted, nudged the tripod, stepped in and out of frame. Outside, cars, no music, no voices. Just wind and distant waves.
That's the part I can picture too clearly. The moment your own breathing suddenly sounds too loud.
On the recording, you hear them small talk with the camera. It's so quiet. Someone hit mute on the whole island. They laugh softly, but their voice already sounds a little tight.
Then the camera started acting strange. Not in a horror movie way, no screaming glitches, but subtle stuff. The exposure meter like it was reacting to a light source that wasn't there.
The street looked the same, dark. But the numbers jumped. The image would brighten for a second, as if catching headlights, fall back, even though nothing had passed.
Did they notice in the moment or only later?
A little of both. They saw the flicker, blamed it on the sensor hunting in low light, and kept talking, joking about spirits not liking content, turning unease into a bit.
Clouds slid over the stars. The ring of light on the balcony tiles shrank, as if the darkness was swallowing it. The air conditioner hummed to thin out, replaced by almost nothing.
When they paused to check a test clip, that's when everything shifted. They sat on the bed, scrubbed through the footage, and froze.
The tiny screen, the road was just a darker strip of gray. But for a handful of frames, when their phone brightness flared, a shape appeared at the far end of the street. Tall, thin, too solid to be a random blur, too clean to be a trick of compression.
It was just a badly placed tree.
They wanted it to be. They told themselves it was a palm trunk or a signpost. But once they saw the outline, their body reacted before their brain caught up, pounding, suddenly sweaty on the phone.
They scrubbed back and forth. Normal brightness, the road was empty. When the exposure spiked, the silhouette condensed out of the dark by the painted center line. When the light fell, it vanished.
That's the point where I'd have to literally everything and turn off every device.
Thought about calling the front desk, but what do you say? I filmed a shadow that only exists when my screen brightens. Instead, they did what they always did when they were scared on the road.
They turned the fear into performance.
They flipped the camera, pointed it at their own face, and started talking louder. They joked about night walkers, about ghosts by influencers. You can hear the wobble under the jokes, but they keep going.
That's the dangerous part. You're talking over the part of you that's saying, maybe stop.
Every joke was a step away from the simplest option. Shut off the light, close the curtains, go to bed.
Instead, they upped the stakes. They clicked off the ring light, leaving only the phone glow. They moved back to the balcony, leaned on the rail, and pointed the camera into the dark.
They took a breath and whispered, to whatever audience they imagined, half to whatever might be listening outside, if there's anything out there, tonight would be the perfect time to show up on camera.
Pretending to be empty, one small stubborn light had just sent an invitation into the dark.
And the thing about invitations is, you don't always get to choose who answers.
Welcome back to Stories from the Edge. Tonight's story comes from a quiet farming area near Davis, California. Orchards. Miles of darkness after sunset. But sometimes, something else moves through those orchards. Something that doesn't want to be seen. Tonight, Jose joins us to talk about a night when something chased his truck through an orchard. Jose, thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. So this happened about 15 years ago. I had gone out to visit a friend who owns a ranch near Davis. I brought my son with me, a couple of his friends, planning to go camping that night, so we had our toy hauler trailer hooked up to the truck. It was already late, probably after 9 p.m. And if you've ever been out there, you know how dark those orchards get. No street lights, just rows and rows of trees. We were driving slowly through the orchard road. Then suddenly, bam! The trailer jumped into the air like something hit it. Not like a bump, not like a pothole, like something slammed into it. My son yelled from the back seat, "Dad, what was that?" Then it happened again. Bang! The trailer shook hard, like something was hitting it from behind. I looked in the rearview mirror, and that's when I saw it. At first I thought it was birds or debris, but it wasn't. It was these dark shapes. They were flying through the air toward us, almost like shadows, but they had shape to them. Kind of tall, thin, almost like an alien silhouette. And there wasn't just one. There were several of them, kept coming at us, flying toward the trailer. And every time they got close, bang, the trailer would shake. My son and his friend started screaming. "Go, go, go!" They were terrified. I hit the gas and started driving faster through the orchard, but the shadows were still coming after us, like they were pushing us out. The moment we reached the end of the orchard road, it stopped, just like that. No more banging, no more shadows, nothing. It was completely quiet again. But I swear to you, that was the scariest night of my life.
Did you ever talk to the ranch owner about it?
Yeah. The next day I told him what happened. He just looked at me and said, "I don't go into that orchard at night." I asked him why. And he told me something strange. He said people have seen those shadows before, and that they don't like light. He said if you shine lights on them, they disappear.
Jose, what do you think they were?
Honestly, I don't know. Aliens. Spirits. Something we're not supposed to see. But whatever they were, they didn't want us there.
Deep in the orchards of Northern California, some locals say strange shadows move between the trees. Most people never see them, but the ones who do never forget. If you've had an experience like this, you might have your own story from the edge.
The cameras hold steady on the empty chairs and silent microphones. The echo of Tara's final words hanging in the darkened room like a question that refuses to fade. Outside, the world beyond the studio walls is unseen, but the story of Jose and the orchard shadows now lives in the minds of everyone who heard it. Somewhere out there, rows of trees still stand in silent darkness, and the memory of what moved between them waits for the next set of headlines. In the studio, only the quiet remains. This has been Stories from the Edge.